Greetings, Dennis Daniels here. This is a very simple form that I used creating pydantic. Pydantic and what else? Pydantic, fastapi, and sqlalchemy. So this is a full stack application. It's not online, but it is running locally. And the database is here. We're going to open with, and you'll see that there's not much in here because one of the things I learned in the development phase is it's probably best just to wipe the database until you get some coherence with your logic. And what is the logic here? So let's take a look at the code, and you'll see I got all my imports. Why this is interesting is that with pydantic, you can do your calculations against the table right inside the class user base, and so all of your display logic is handled just as simple HTML in this case, or you can see in the submit, or rather on submit, all of this information gets pulled back from the database, which again is resting right here. So the logic is contained, at least the business logic, so to speak, is contained here, which I think has some advantages. So let's take a look at the code. And you can see it's running with Unicorn, so any changes I make here, they get reflected immediately. I've set, we've already seen Bob Doe, so let's say Bob Dote, and he is 34. His income is 40,000. His anticipated savings, let's see if I add a 1.75. When I click submit, oh, it doesn't allow for floats. So let's see if, let's go ahead and change this and ask a GPT. Modify this code to accept floats for, what was the field name? Anticipated savings percentage. For anticipated savings percentage. All right, let's see if it'll do it. User class, which is right here, to accept floats for anticipated savings percentage. This will change to decimal values. So let's see what gets changed. I don't see, oh, right here. So column is a float default. And anything else? No. So all I have to do is change this right here, column float default. Let's see if that works. Column float default, Control S. Float is not defined. Float is not defined. All right, so it's not going to work, and I need to dig into the code and figure out all that. So I'm going to just leave that as it is. Control S. Okay, and now it seems to be working. And I go back to my code, and I won't put in a float. I'll just put in a normal number, and hopefully I haven't broken anything. Submit. And I haven't broken anything. So here is Bob Dote. He's 34. He has approximately 70 years, 36 years left before he's 70. And his estimated savings is 28,000, almost 29,000. So let's make sure that all of this has now gone into our database. Refresh the database, and there it is. So this obviously has applications for people who want to do financial planning or who want to generate pretty reports. This obviously is not pretty, but it does work. So if you need to gather up more complex data sets and then do your own calculations, this is an example of that. I will host this code online and give you the URL. Thanks for watching and happy computing.